How's it going, everybody? I'm Charlie. This is Larry, and this is the Larry and Charlie Show. Check it out.
Hey, everybody, that's justice. What do you think, Joe?
I think it's justice. I think everybody that's on the wrong side of Donald Trump, Donald Trump doesn't care if you disagree with him, but the people that have really been trying to get him and are doing their own dirt themselves, ooh, I'd hate to be them. I'd hate to be a certain judge in New York right now.
Oh, yes.
I feel
yes.
that it's going to be really tough.
It's going to get tough for him. Yes, and actually, one of the great things is that we finally got a president who literally talks to everybody.
Yeah.
They did in the first month of the presidency, Joe Biden talked to the press, answered 141 questions in a month.
Right.
Donald Trump answered 1,009.
I know some people disagree, but I think that Donald Trump would rather be your friend than your enemy. That's just the sense I get from the guy. I deal with a lot of people in business and all in it. That is the immediate sense I get from the guy. He wants to be your friend. He wants to tell you his points and get you to agree with him. If you don't agree with him, I think that's okay. But when you come after the man, he's ready to come after you too.
He was earlier in the week. He met with the Governors Association. There were 46 governors that came to the White House.
That was awesome.
And so he spoke to them, and then he started. He was talking about his accomplishments and what he's been advocating, and that he signed an executive order banning boys from girls' sports. And he asked the governor of Maine what she's done in her state.
Roll that.
We're going to roll it. This is a good one. I got it.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Down here,
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Got it.
Roll it. Enjoy your life after court. I don't think you'll be in elected politics. I love it. It was great. And, look, he's telling her what her constituency is already telling her.
Exactly.
He did pretty well in the state of Maine. I mean, it is a liberal population.
Well, he won. They split it up. He won one electoral vote,
Right,
but he won it from the majority of the state. The two liberal cities didn't.
But you're going to have that.
Yep.
And that's a lot of groupthink bullshit. Everybody lives in a bubble. But most people, you don't want your child that's a girl playing against boys in sports. Nobody does. That's stupid. That is just an idiotic idea. Look, people have said 1,000 times, if they want to form a transgender league, form that.
Right.
They don't want that because it would just be a bunch of sissy boys performing poorly. They want to be able to beat all the girls.
That's it.
It's not right to take achievements from young ladies.
It's not right. And then the press. Listen, the dying press hasn't learned any lessons. They continue doing what they're doing. But it's been interesting, its effect on the population. There's a Harris poll from Harvard
Kamala
University.
Harris poll?
No,
Oh,
Harvard University
guess.
and the Harris poll conducted a survey. And these are some interesting numbers. 66% say, of the Democrats say the Democrats should take a wait-and-see approach to Trump's actions, which means they should be making a fool of themselves,
Well,
right?
I think Sun
66%.
Tzu said that. See what your enemy's going. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you preempt something you don't even know what's going to happen?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous. There's a lot of stupidity on this side.
No question.
But they fall, and that's why the Democrats have been so popular and powerful for so many years, is because Republicans will stand on their laurels and they'll divide themselves and go against themselves because everybody's got to have their gumption, what they're going to do, and that's the way they said they were going to do it. Democrats will fall lockstep every time.
Right.
But I think this is changing that. I don't think they're going to be lockstep like they have been, because some are realizing that you have to get out of lockstep and do what your constituency wants, which even Democrats want these. I mean, this is normal shit, you know? So I think even Democrats are starting to fall out of lockstep on things because you got to get reelected and you got to do what your constituents want.
Listen to this. 66% say the Democrats should join the mission to cut government waste. Instead, they're claiming it's a constitutional crisis. 52% say the Democrats deliberately kept the border open for illegals. Interesting. 70% say hiring should be based on merit and objective evaluation. Now,
Of course it should be.
That's common sense. I'm an old guy. I'm retired now, so I don't worry about getting hired anywhere. Okay, but any time I ever did, it was based off of merit and incompetency. 67% say the U.S. debt is unsustainable. Well, that should be 100% because it's
and look, liberals love that word, unsustainable.
Yeah, I know.
Everything's goddamn unsustainable, but it is. It is an unsustainable thing, and there's no reason for it.
No.
Look at what Doge just cut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're what, a month? We're a month in.
About, yeah.
Look at what they've cut already. I mean, we're on track to save $1 trillion.
Then 69% of the people support cutting $1 trillion.
What if you didn't? What I can't understand who wouldn't be in support of cutting $1 trillion in waste. It's not $1 trillion in benefits for people necessarily. It's not. It's waste.
And they're trying to spin it that it's benefits, but it's not. It's pure waste. 83% say the government should balance the budget. Well, that's common sense. I don't know about any of you, but you know, with your own money, if you spend more than you make, you're in debt.
Chase Banks called me every day. I don't know what that. Luckily, it shows up on my phone. I just swipe.
69% support. I'm sorry, 77.
Could you loan me some money?
Sure. 77% support a full review of all government spending. That tends to be common sense. And 72% support a government agency focused on efficiency.
That's what we got.
We got that. We got that already. And it's interesting, you know, there's been a lot of heat and a lot of crap thrown at Elon Musk.
I just think it's a lot of racist, Larry. Like I said on a prior episode, he's an African American.
That's it.
And as we know, if you go against anyone African American for any reason, even if you disagree with their politics, it's racism.
The Argentina's president was here in our country. Now, Milei, you know him? Mm-hmm. He's the guy that, if you remember, when he got elected, he went up to a whiteboard and they had all these different departments lined up. And he just walked up and he goes, gone, gone, gone. He just cut the crap out of the Argentinian budget. And now Argentina is financially stable again for the first time in 40 years.
40 years, 50 years.
Yeah. And there's an interesting clip here that I want to share with you because I don't know if you've all seen it, but this was taken at CPAC. And this is really, really funny.
I think, though, I just want to make this point before we play it. You know, everything is going back the way that things were originally meant to be. Martin Luther King, what was his famous saying? Content of character, not color of skin.
Correct.
Everybody, we've gotten to the point in the American society where everyone is equal and everyone is being judged equally, hopefully. And that's the way things are supposed to go in a workplace or a
Mhm.
sports team or anywhere else. And I think that more people would prosper from these things. I know people go out there and race bait and say all these
Right.
things on both sides, but the American people have a drive to be excellent. It's
Mhm.
always been that way. Black, white, Hispanic,
Correct.
German, Jew, whatever. And I think we're getting back to that. And I think we're going to see some real American exceptionalism all the way across the board.
We can only hope.
Let's watch Elon.
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right? Why don't we bring him out?
Yeah. Thank you. This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
That's perfect.
All right.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This man needs no introduction. What's the question for him, Larry?
The question is, we've been having a lot of controversy from a lot of different quarters. I'll give you an example. Last night at the Jefferson Parish Council, now Jefferson Parish, we use parishes instead of counties, but the Parish Council rejected an effort to name future maps, to put Gulf of America on future maps. They denied that. On Facebook, there are all these groups that are organizing protests over the naming of the Gulf of America. The question for you tonight, Charlie, is what do you think about the Gulf of America?
Well, I don't see why it shouldn't be called the Gulf of America. You have Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, part of the Gulf,
Texas?
Texas. So, I mean, what's wrong with, we rename streets all the time. What's wrong with renaming from the Gulf of America to the Gulf of
The Gulf of
America?
Mexico to the Gulf
Of America, yeah.
Have you had a drink today?
I had a bunch.
Oh. Mexico was founded in
1810
America's founded in
in 1776.
I think we got the rights to it. There was some
That's
Mexican
right.
property on
That's
there,
right.
but there was a real estate deal. We
Yeah.
took care of that.
I mean, what's the problem? You know, I can't see a problem.
Okay,
You heard it first.
you heard it first here. That's why Father knows best. All right, thanks, Charlie, for your insight. It's one I know it's one of our audience's most favorite parts of the show.
That's usually when they stop watching.
Well, that may be true too.
Don't be cute.
That may be true too. Yeah, one of the things that happened today is we try to keep up with current events and keep you in the know. Was the release of the Epstein files? All right. And those were there's a lot of information that's starting to come out. Now, as a rule of thumb, all right, and I learned this a long time ago. I've been a follower of the Dan Bongino show for 10 years. First as a podcast, then on Rumble as a video. And he says he has the Bongino rule, which says when something happens, wait 48 to 72 hours before commenting, because you won't look like a fool if you do.
Right.
So the file has come out. There's information. It's now starting to be talked about, and we're aware of it. And we'd love to talk about it because we can certainly have fun with it.
This will change a lot by tomorrow, and by next week it'll be a whole
Exactly.
different story.
Exactly. So next week, we promise you, we're going to address the Epstein files and the consequences. And but in the meantime, we're going to wait. We're not going to comment.
But what did we hear about the New York field office today?
Oh yeah, the New
That
York-
was I didn't get to watch the whole thing. You watched the whole thing.
the New York field office. It was discovered that they had thousands of files that they were hiding, keeping away from everybody.
Why are these people taking care and defending and hiding pedophiles?
That's a good question.
That's the lowest thing you can be. You can be a rat and then a pedophile. That's the two lowest things you could possibly be. And they're hiding it, and they're hiding it from you, and they're hiding it from me, and they're hiding it from everybody. They want to put them back in the world around your children and everybody else's children. It's disgusting. They're not people. And the only place a pedophile should be allowed to hang out is in a tree, preferably by their neck.
The number of questions, I mean, people are going to look at it and say they get answers. Actually, to me, it's going to raise an incredible amount of questions. And we'll discuss that next week. But they did find those 1,000 files in the New York, hidden in the New York FBI field office. And they will be, thanks to Kash Patel, they will be on Pam Bondi's desk 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So they'll start going through that. And so we'll have more information released probably over the weekend and early next week.
Kill your local pedophile.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. And as a final word tonight, before we say goodnight, I just want to ask you one simple question. How many of you are excited about getting on an airplane?
Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know if I'll come back again.
That's the absolute truth. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this before your next flight. Good night.